I broke my DDrum Redshot trigger. What's up guys, Justin Greenwald here. Welcome to 65 Drums, the place to learn more about electronic drums. Be sure to subscribe if you're interested in that. This is a video about my mistakes, so you can learn from them and don't have to break stuff on your own. This is a DDrum Redshot trigger. I'll link in the description below a review I did. This is a really nice drum trigger. It's like 16 bucks, super cheap. This is a one zone trigger and I used it to trigger over here. This is my Sonar Force 2001 snare, and I put a Silent Stroke Remo single ply mesh drum head on it, and then just attached this trigger to one of the lugs right here, and it functioned as my secondary floor tom. Worked really well. Unfortunately, what would happen is, since this is a very uneven floor, and I guess I didn't spread the legs of this snare stand right here enough, this would fall over every once in a while. Either I'd bump into it, or I don't know, just every once in a while this thing would fall over. And unfortunately, I decided it was a good idea to have this attached right here. Guess which way this thing fell every single time? It fell like that. This thing bent and one of these wires snapped because they're exposed. I'll show you right here. You see the wires, they're right there, and they also run along the front. The red wire got just snapped. If I was a DIY guy, I'd be over here like soldering this thing back into life, but it was only 16 bucks, and I'm probably gonna buy a different trigger to replace it and do a review of it anyway. But the moral of the story for me, make sure that your stand is sturdy. Like, wiggle it around, make sure that it's sturdy. Make sure that if you're on an uneven floor, the leg right there, make sure that you're pointing it towards the way it would fall. There's a leg right there that will make it stop in its tracks and it won't fall over. And if you have noticed that it would fall in a certain direction, make sure your trigger, if you have an external trigger, make sure your trigger isn't right there, so when it falls, all the pressure doesn't land on the trigger. These things are pretty awesome. Not for acoustic drum heads, only for mesh drum heads, but they work really well. Thank you so much for watching. I've got my drum covers on my Instagram page. All my Facebook news is on my Facebook page. See you guys in a few days.